What is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the Crypto Remora. My name is Nick, also known as Siri Crypto, and you got to be patient with me because Wes usually does the intros, but he should be joining us very shortly. But you guys, we got a lot going on. We got a lot to talk about in the crypto space. I know it's been a minute. Wes and I both kind of got kidnapped. If you didn't see the video, the promo video, it was some crazy stuff went down. I might show it to you in a minute, but we got price action. We got Bitcoin hitting above 120. Our NFTs coming back. Are we on that kind of a bull run? Is this Uptober? Is this going to last? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the stable coin stuff going on. $4.23 trillion global market cap. Bitcoin holding strong above 120 at the time of this stream. Ethereum pushing up on $4,500. So everything is looking good, man. Everything's in the green. Lot to talk about. GMB, I see you in the chat. Also want to go over a Cardano project called Stuff.io. If you guys have been watching, you've seen me boast about it. But we're going to talk about that as well. And let's get this like that. There we go. And I think I'll try to max the screen out. Might look a little better. Here we go. StreamYard made some changes, so there's some technical stuff that's a little different, guys, so bear with me as I'm using the new interface, but should be fairly easy to navigate. It's still a good thing. Oh, what is this here? This is weird. A lot of you have been whining and asking, where's Siri Crypto? Where's Crypto MacGyver? Well, they've been busy this week and last week working with somebody. The hell is this guy? They'll be back tonight. Don't be whining. They're gonna let you know how your little markets are doing. Tune in around 7 or 8 or whenever we feel like returning them. It was scary, bro. It was just terrifying, man. So yeah, it was a bad experience. Don't really want to talk about that. So let's not mess around anymore. Let's look at what we look at on the channel here. Let's look at some charts, man, because we got to dive in and see if we're gonna hold up here, if we're gonna have a correction tomorrow. First thing is total global, guys. We're gonna check that out. Look at this uptrend just on the basic chart right here. This is very healthy looking. Let's go here. There we go. I can see the chart, the chat, guys, but StreamYard cut out the overlay. So yeah, so I can show your things like that one at a time, which really kind of sucks that they got rid of that. Not really thrilled about that. Excuse me. But total global, let's see here. We're on the max chart. As you can see, the max chart looks healthy. Let's look at that first, guys, because this is the most important. I mean, this goes back to 2017. Hell, this goes back to 2012. I mean, this goes back to the inception of Bitcoin. You can see it's kind of a weird thing to look at logarithmically because it's hard to see the the pumps like this. But if you can imagine what this looks like here is exactly what this looked like back then. Okay. So because it's on a long, the long chart, it's not going to look, they're going to look like different sizes. But if you zoom into this looked very similar to this. But if you look at basics, guys, you get above, resistance, you broke resistance, broke resistance, you came down, you flipped it as support, you went way up here, you even came back down again to test this level as support. This level here, okay, this is the crucial level right here. Boom, this is your new support. $2.5 trillion market cap is your new support. Because look back here, 3, you were right around 2.5 to 3, which is right around here. So, and likewise, right here is 2.2. This is, 2.3. So you might as well say 2.5 is the new norm for your floor. Okay, but that's not where we are. We're at 4.23. Okay, so both times we overshot our floor, it was a small overshoot, right? Small overshoot and back down. This time, look what's happening. We're pushing up on the 4 trillion and using, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we're pushing in on 4.5 trillion at this point. We're on our way up to it. So this is absolutely incredible to see because we've already been up here once. Look, 4.2.5, right? 4.2, you might as well say 4.2 again, and now we're above it. So we're breaking above that, and we're at 4.25 or whatever. Let's look at this the weekly on it. Slow and steady, nice climb. That's beautiful to see. Let's look at the 2-week. Okay, so your floor was still 3. We said that, if you went to 3.8 and held, I was watching that level and I said that I didn't see us going below that, and we did not. We bottomed out and we've just been climbing. Now, the question is when we get to, we're already here, 4.2. This is the level to watch, guys, because there is, you see, we hit resistance there before. Could this be a fake out? Could we hit this and, come back down? I will say this, we're not going back down here. If we come back down, I'm looking at this level, right at 4 trillion. So if we came down, we'd come down by a cool 200 billion. That seems to be the market's favorite number for the billionaires that take their money out of the space and then go back into stonks. But look at this beautiful bull flag right here, this bull pennant playing out. So I don't know, man. I'm thinking that it's looking good. It's looking very healthy. Let's look at Bitcoin real quick and get a better feel for what's going on. So 120 on the daily. And just so you know, GMB, I believe, and Wes and I were all in longs at 112. I think Wes did very well on several of his longs at 112. I had a feeling when we were right here. So yeah, we did good on the short-term trades, you guys. Look at that run though. That's a beautiful run. If you had to say choose the staircase correction rule, just glancing at the chart, you would say from here is the bottom of the staircase. Here's the top of the staircase. The middle of that would be somewhere around 117. And you can see a skip over line right here. You took an elevator here. So does that mean, if I'm looking at the downside right now, just a quick analysis, just first instinct analysis, 117 range right here has not had much trading in the last week. Let's look at the month though. Over the month, have we had a lot of trading around 117? We have not. We've had a little bit of trading right here. Okay. So my guess, there could be a little bit of play this week from 120 to 117, a little bit of chop action, right? Again, with the staircase rule, you'd go halfway. You're at 115, but look at all the, see, when you say halfway, but look at all this trading that happened. Okay, so I'm still trying to find a way to explain this properly, but the halfway rule, when there's this much trading at that level, that rule tends to not work so good because you've already traded there. So the correction to come back down halfway, it's a little rarer, which means that's a good thing. That means Uptober, man. So this is actually really bullish that we've already had this much trading in this range, because that means the correction more than likely is not going to want to come down there and trade. I'm thinking 120 to 117 will be your floor, using this as support. Let's go to the 3-month. Let's see what else. Yeah, look at this. 117's had all this trading right here already. So, this could be it, guys. This could be the move we've been waiting on to go up towards 150 and continue this not only the bull run, but to go into the euphoric stage, which I know everybody is waiting for. That is what we're looking at. So that looks really good. Total global looks strong. Bitcoin looks strong. We will look at ETH. We'll look at some Cardano, and we'll talk about stuff a little bit here in a minute. $4,500 ETH. Incredible. This thing 4 years ago was only worth $75. Blows my freaking mind. It's worth $4,500 now. Insane. Okay. Insane to watch these assets over the last 4 years. Crazy. Let's see here. Yep. Sierra Crypto got into Ethereum right here. No, not 2017. I'm sorry. Not 2017. Sierra Crypto got in on the right before the COVID dip, which I should be able to tell from the chart. I think right around here. Oh, it was right there. It's March 2020, slightly before March. That's COVID right there. That's the COVID crash. So, yeah, I was in slightly before that. That's when I time period. And this is COVID right here. Boom. Black Thursday. Boom. And bought this dip actually. It says 110. Ethereum went down to about $75. And I got a couple of buys at that average buy price, which was beautiful. But yeah, what an incredible run ETH has had. 3 months. So let's go back here. I want to look at Cardano because I know GMB is feeling it. Let's pull up some Cardano here. Hashtag Ada Gang at 86 cents, man. So pushing back up on the 90-cent range. So yeah, it felt like Cardano was at 75 cents just forever in a day, right? It was just chop sideways at 75 cents. I feel like that last pump up to $3. You got to think you ran up to a good bit, not too long, August to September. But you did that. Let's see, and that's 2021 September. So you did that major move. December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months. So you had this much of a price run in 9 months. You went from 14 cents to $3. Guys, this is how crypto freaking moves. When it moves in a 9-month period and it freaking runs from, I had to count on my hands. When it moves, guys, you could sit around and wait for 3 freaking years for something to happen, right? And just get, man, shit ain't happening. Nothing's happening, right? And within a 9-month period, think about a woman being pregnant and then giving birth to live with her. Feels like a long time, but in reality, 9 months is not long at all. It's a very short time frame. And within that time frame, to go from an asset being 14 cents up to $3, you can only do that in crypto, guys. And what I'm trying to say is, you're not at 14 cents right now. You're at 86 cents right now. So you'd have to about, $8, $5, $6 Cardano, $5, $6, $7 Cardano possible. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. From 86 cents? Oh, yeah. Absolutely, positively could definitely happen. The question is, are you going to sell when it gets up there? Are you going to sell some? What are you going to do? What's your plan? I had a good buddy of mine today give me a phone call, and he's saying, Nick, I'm having my thoughts. I'm out of meme coins right now. I took all my profit already. What should I do? I'm thinking about selling half. And I told him, I said, sell half. If you're going to sell half, your gut's telling you to sell half of what you got. He's into XRP and something else. I said, if you're going to do that, consider rolling it into Bitcoin, because then you take your win and then you're going to turn it into another win. That's my best advice for anybody in the game that's serious about long-term. Has already got some long-term money. Everyone's situation's different, so you have to do what's best for you. But for the situation he's in, I think I gave him the best advice possible, which is, if you're already thinking about taking profit, take your profit and then roll it into the cash. If you need the cash, put it in cash or real estate or whatever else you want to do with your finances. But Bitcoin is a good way to lock in those gains. But yeah, Cardano, when Cardano breaks out of the over $2, this is in the short term. This bull right here and handle, if you took that, boom, that would be around $2 in opinion. So in the short term, I'm looking at $2. So that's a double in your money off the rip. But why have I flipped on Cardano? If you guys have seen any of the past shows, what made me flip on Cardano? What made me change my mind? Made me change my mind on Cardano. Real talk. Well, it would be the real, the man, the myth, the legend, the real first, GMB himself, which goes to show you the power that one person can have, you guys. When I first tuned in, I watched nothing but Chico Crypto, who is just very openly does not like Charles Hoskinson. I think him and Chico were actually going to have a fight, like a wrestling match or something at one point. Because Chico's just crazy, but yeah, there was a lot of beef between the two, and I was Chico Army all the way. I still am. I'm still Chico Army. I still back my boy up. But also back then, Cardano didn't really have a stable coin. They didn't have any DEXs. They didn't even have freaking NFTs. So it was kind of like, yeah, I see what Chico was saying, but even still, okay, they got NFTs, they got DEXs, and they got all this stuff going on. And I was like, oh, okay, this is good. Cardano's doing something. So I had to give them their credit where credit was due, but I still wasn't quite a believer in what was going on. And there was still the tribal wars between Chico and Charles. And like I said, nothing against Charles, but I'm just Chico Army. I just love Chico. I learned a lot from him. So it was hard for me to break away from that. But when GMB started talking about Cardano, I said, all right, I'll listen, I'll try, I'll play around with it. And it was okay. It was a good experience to play around a little bit. But the straw that broke the camel's back is a little project called Stuff. That is what made me really change on Cardano. Being a musician, it made me go from constantly wanting to being laggy on your end. I have full signal and 5G signal Wi-Fi, so it's StreamYard does this. I don't know why. I've written them letters constantly and they don't respond. But it gets laggy for some reason, so I apologize. But stuff.io is basically owning your own stuff. That's why it's called. This is literally an NFT. Books, media, they're going to start doing video. But for me, it was the music NFTs. You can upload your song that you make, turn it into an MTV, turn it into an NFT, and you own the rights to it, and you can create as many copies as you want. They do all the back end work for you, and then they send you a freaking email and they say, hey, does this look good? Is this what you wanted? Is this the right title of the song? Is this the right length? Are you happy? They communicate with you. And for me, the customer service side of that, I said, you know what? It's cheap enough. You could just go right on Cardano. You can swap for some stuff, which the price action of this, I mean, I know told me to hold ADA, or you can stake ADA and earn stuff. But I mean, look at this chart, bro. I'm about to just scoop a little more stuff at this price because I am freaking bullish on this project, man. And the customer service is what's made me really bullish. Like, I got an email from them today, and they said, hey, we got your NFT. We're ready to, it's almost going to be released, guys. I already have one NFT track. It's a drum and bass track, but I'm about to do my first full band track. It's all over. It was recorded at Mackenzie Studios in Myrtle Beach. That song is a really good song. It's got my full band sound, and that'll be my first full band NFT. But I'm going to follow it up with a brand new Area 51. I'd like to do the video. The videos aren't ready yet. If they had the music videos ready, I would release the first music video. But I may do the track anyway while I'm waiting for them to do the music or the videos. But either way, you know, if you write a book, you can release your book on stuff and then sell it to people, and then you're not getting reamed like from streaming services. You know, out of every dollar you sell your song, I think they give you a couple of pennies. Like you get 2 pennies and they keep 98 cents. They've been screwing the musicians out of music since the beginning of time. Well, not really the beginning of time. Back then you entertained for the king and stuff, but then if he didn't like you, he'd kill you. So it was a little bit, musicians have always had a hard road, but stuff makes it easier, and they make it easier for you to get direct to the fans, which is freaking cool, man. So shout out to them. They have an open invite anytime to come on the show, if they would like to discuss their project. But pretty incredible project on Cardano that single-handedly turned me into an ADA gang member. So that's a big deal from someone who was basically anti-Cardano for a long time to say, you know what, I'm a believer now. I mean, that's one hell of a 180. So shout out to them. Hyperliquid holding above $50, just barely holding it, but I mean, refusing to go down. This is the little engine that could. Those of you that know, if you tune in, Wes got the airdrop for Hyperliquid. I missed it, unfortunately, because I was too busy not listening to Wes, not listening to him to get the airdrop, and when I should have. But I did scoop some down around $14 and rode it up to about 45 and then dumped some bags off. I don't know if that's a little head and shoulder right there or not. Almost looks like it is, but target for that break would be $30. $33. Sorry, I got a little looking good on hype, even though I just saw that little possible head and shoulders. Solana at 232. Solana's going to be another runner. Definitely a runner for this altcoin season. Yeah, let's see. Let's just see. Very similar price action to what Cardano did. You know, 21. This was what, 22? It's still 21. So Cardano went from, Solana went from, in the same year, $13 $13 freaking dollars up to $220. So of those of you saying that Solana couldn't go to 700, 800, $1,000, you're crazy. Solana could absolutely do that very easily. Like I said, the euphoria stage has not started yet. In my opinion, I think we have much longer to go. I don't think this bull run ends. I do not think that this bull run ends on the typical 4-year cycle. So I kind of wish Wes was in here right now so we could have this discussion, because we have differing views on it. He thinks it's going to go by the book 100%, like it always does. And that's a good theory, because I see why he believes that. I just called so much, and there's been so much manipulation that I think we don't get the super cycle. We don't get the extended cycle. I don't like calling it that, but I do think we rally past the new year. I do think we continue to go possibly up until March or April of next year. So whereas you could take your profits in October, November, December, in the next 3 months, I do believe we'll get a nice pump. I'm not thinking that's going to be the top, if we go to 150, but a lot of people are saying that 150 is, it's going to be so hard for us to get to 150. But really, that's not that hard to get to, guys. That's going to be a very, very simple number to get to when you look at where we are right now. I mean, it's not even that big of a move. So that is looking good. GMB, if you've got anything you want me to look at, Hosky, I know is one that you're into big time. I wanted to look at Aptos, see what Aptos is doing real quick. Let me know in the chat, coins. And also this Athena. I keep hearing about Athena, guys. Tell me about Athena. Please, someone tell me about Athena. I have not done the deep dive on it. Got into an Aptos trade earlier, just a very quick one, not a huge one, just farming the airdrop. Look at this thing. This thing, you know what this thing moves like? XRP. Aptos trades like freaking XRP. It's just like bam, bam, bam. It's very violent. It's algorithmically controlled trading. It's you can tell this is bot trading, because it's just this huge range. I hate that box. It's so helpful when you stop somewhere, but when I'm moving the mouse, I don't want to see that box. Please, CoinGecko, I know you're listening. So the move is between $6 and $18 freaking dollars. This thing chops, right? And it even went below that level for a while, way down here, $4. So for Aptos at $5, dude. Aptos is a good buy at $5. Everyone talking about Sui. And I've used both blockchains, and by far Aptos is better than Sui. They're similar. Solana, Sui, and Aptos. It's almost like the same devs made all three of them. To be honest with you, they have the same feel. Like all three of them were made by the same couple of guys in the room, and they're all interchangeable and interusable. So if you go on Aptos, guess what you see? You see trades for Solana and Sui. If you go on Sui, what do you see? You see them are forming this triangulation of dexes work together. And that caught my attention very, very. That was the first thing I saw. And this was 2 years ago or more, guys, when I was farming the Aptos airdrop. Let's see when that was exactly. Let's see if this will do it here. What was the exact day that Aptos blockchain delivered its airdrop? Let's see the exact day. No, don't Google, don't do that. Just answer my freaking question. The Aptos blockchain airdrop was delivered on October 19th, 2022. We're in 2025, so that was 3 freaking years ago. So 3 years ago, guys, that's when the airdrop happened. So you got to think more than 3 years ago. More than 3 years ago, Aptos, Sui, and Solana were all working together with their dexes and enabling trades between all three. So that was 3 years ago, and everyone's only bullish on Solana and only bullish on Sui. If you look at the charts, you see Sui is already up here in the 21st spot, right? It's already it's fighting its way into be a top 20. Solana's already in its top 10. It's in number 6. Look at Aptos. Look where Aptos is. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. It's just broken the top 50, guys. It's number 49. Just broken into the top 50. Look at a strong breakout. In my opinion, I think Aptos is gonna freaking wreck heads. It's a better software experience. It's a better user experience. The NFTs are better. They gave an airdrop where Sui did not give you an airdrop, which is horse shit. Wes just texted me. Jeez. Okay, some drunk just ran into the back of his truck, his work truck. Are you okay? So I believe it. I seen this guy hit this guy in the back of a truck 2 days ago on 707. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with people? This 5G is messing everybody up, man. People are driving like freaking idiots. Anyway, so Wes, I'm asking him if he's okay. I'm sure he's okay because otherwise he would tell me. But it may be a few before he joins, if he's even able to, because he's got to wait for a cop now on the scene. That would not be crazy. But I think he's okay, guys. So don't sweat. It just sounds like it's just a fender bender thing. But Aptos, 62% down from all time. So you're getting it at a fire sale, $5. I'm telling you, man. I think this is going to be a runner, and I think this is one hell of an entry. Let's look at GMB. Cycle ends up longer. I'm calling extended cycle. I like that, bro. I am not hating on that at all, GMB. I think I'm careful to use the word super cycle or extended cycle because some people abuse that term. But I think the run goes past freaking November, December. I think you might have a lull in January, but I think that's going to be the washout. January, February will be the washout. And then when March comes in roaring like a lion, I just feel like you're going to get that second wave. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why it's lagging. I got full signal. It really pisses me off too because my internet signal says 5G. 5 bars connected, and I've even had a computer tech come over and look at it, and he cannot explain why. And I've plugged into the router directly, and yet StreamYard says that my signal strength is no good. So it's definitely a StreamYard issue. I don't think it's a router issue. I'm connected, secured with full 5 bars. Like I said, even when I'm plugged directly into the 5G router, I still have these issues. So it's definitely a StreamYard issue. And I hope they get it solved. I hope they get it fixed. Let's look at LQ. Is that LQ on Cardano? Yes, LQ. Let's check out LQ. LQ. See if this is it. Liquid finance. Give me a price range or give me a thumbs up in the chat if this is right, GMB, if you don't mind. If this is the right one. I think it's got to be liquid finance. This one, pretty sure this is the one you want. See, and then it gives you a little teaser where it gives you really pisses me. 344. Yep, this is it. GMB. So, oh my God. Good Lord, have mercy. Well, one thing's for goddamn sure. This thing has been going sideways since freaking 2023. So sideways pain. But you know, these are the ones that I actually don't mind because you know, if you held from here to here, my God. I mean, you probably sold here. If you held from here, like Crypto Lark would be out like right here. You'd be like, fuck this, I'm out. You know, most people are out here. You know, from here to here, you're out, or from here to here, you're done. But if you've held from here at 310, and this thing is at 310 right now, Jesus, can you imagine that? I mean, that really holding that long and just having that sideways, you got to be a convicted son of a gun to be able to have endured that, let alone if you bought anything of this back here. I mean, $91. I just looking at this, 96% down. This thing is either deader than doorknob, or this is going to be the biggest comeback in history. This could be, I mean, but look at this spike. I mean, you've had massive, that was a scary spike. Look at this move. In 2023 went from $10 down to 28 cents, and then right back up to freaking $10, and then sideways, and then you fell off. That max chart looks a little scary, but it also, okay, so there's two sides to this, and I don't even know what this does. I'm just saying from a charting perspective. Technically, it's a lower cap, but the good, let's do the good news first. The good news is, like I said, if you held this long and you're still convicted, you're a freaking G. That's almost $4. Yeah, $3.53. But the majority of that time was spent, you know, $1.30, you know, $1.20. Then you had $2.50, $2. So kind of brutal though, man, to go from up here. I mean, this is crazy. $100 down to $30, and then that quick spike, $10. Once you broke below 10, you never really returned above 10 again, right? You tried right here. You had one more push up to 7. That's a hell of a run, almost up to 8, and then you still fell. Climbing up to 4, but 4 is halfway to 8. You know, this could be a dead cat bounce. I don't know enough about it, GMB, but I will say that it could be worth throwing a couple of bucks if it returns, because of this long sideways accumulation. I mean, you could get, I hate to say it, but you know, if it does come back, when you have something accumulate that long, that sideways, usually the returns are like whoosh, you know, they're just like this downfall. They're just like, they do that again, they go up. Which could it hit $100 again? It could hit 130 if it comes back based on this chart here. But would I go dumping a bunch of money into it? Probably not. Just my opinion. But I definitely think if you're bullish on it and you've done more research than I have, obviously, and you know what this thing is, that's a different story, because now you're looking at just your price entry. It would have been better to have got in right about here at 83 cents, of course. But you are in an uptrend. I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at it with perspective from the very bottom. Let's look at it from that 70 cents or so. Let's look at it from here to here. Let's see what it looks like. Okay, so like I said, this looks much healthier than that overall chart, because you went from, if you look at this chart, you would go from 60 cents up to $7. But again, that could have been that dead cat bounce. This could be deceiving, because remember, you fell from grace, man. You fell a lot. So that could be your dead cat bounce up. And then, what I don't like this upward. I don't like this rise. I never like to see, especially after a big move and then you come down. I'd rather see a descending wedge. This is kind of an ascending wedge, which I don't like to see. Okay, so this scares me a little bit. This pattern right here scares me in the short term, I'm saying. And that you haven't been able to break that $4 resistance. You've tried once, twice, three, and now you're not getting up to it again. I would just say be very cautious with this, but if you've done more research than me, that's a different story. Like I said, I don't really know what it does. It looks like liquid finance. Okay, let's see. Liquids and algorithmic. Ooh, earning interest on supply versus borrowing kind of. Yeah, this is anything like those algorithmic stable coins like we were into called Nirvana, and there was another one me and Wes were into on Solana. That thing got absolutely destroyed. Those are very scary. But this looks like it's a little different than that. Users of a protocol can interact with money markets implemented as a set of pooled liquidity smart contracts. Users supply assets as a lender. When they call the market, contracts mint function and borrow against their supplied assets as collateral. When they call the borrow contract, the liquid DAO token unlocks voting power for protocol. So it's a DAO token. The liquid DAO token unlocks voting power for protocol users to participate in the protocol's decentralized governance, and when staked, it is used as a reserve asset, generating 2 layers of yield for stakers and a % of total revenue. I don't know. GMB, I would be careful. That's all I'm saying, brother. I would be careful with it. If you're going to throw a little bit at it, you could, but I would not go dumping big money into this thing. Based on my experience with algorithmic coins on Solana, they never did good. They were generally scam coins. Not saying this is a scam. I'm just saying that the ones on Solana were very sketchy. But that was a algorithmic stable coin. This is slightly different because borrower lending type stuff. So it's a little different, but just be careful with this upward rent trend. You know, GMB, you're studying your candles and shit. You know more about the Japanese Haikanashi and all those candles. I mean, you're a student of TA now, so when you see not an uptrend, because you could technically say this is slightly an uptrend, but to me, I take the whole pattern, and the whole pattern itself is forming a rising wedge. It looks like, So for that, that's what makes me sketched out in the short term. In the long term, let's go back, zoom out here. I think I go to max chart again and it'll get regular. Yeah. The long term, it's like, what the hell do you got to lose, right? This thing went from $100 down to $2, $3, $4. So, if you threw $500 at it, $300 at it to see if it does come back to life on the next pump, sure. If you got it to spend, but that would be my honest assessment of it, looking at it without any more information. That's where I'm at with that. But that's why you got to do more deep dives, man. That's why you got to really know what you're if you're definitely if you're getting into something like this, you know, you need to have experience using it, trading in and out of it. Check your devs, you know, go to Twitter, you know, check the Twitter out. Do the devs conceal themselves? Are they open? Do they let you know who they are? All these kind of things is like, if you're going to get serious into something, that's something you can do. You can really check them out. 56,000 followers, stuff.io trusts and follows them. So that's good. Lily, she's pretty credible. Not bad there. So, you know, this is the kind of thing I'm saying. You know, you got to look at a lot of stuff. And if that's the case, you know, you could be getting a hell of an entry. It's just one of those things. I would have to dive deeper into it. But, you know, I'll give them a follow. And why am I not following them? I should already be following them. I'll give them a follow just to keep the notifications on, kind of keep an eye on them, as it were. And that's another way, you know, slowly. You don't have to buy a project right away, too, in crypto. If you see something you like, and put it on your back burner. If you don't want to jump into something right away, put it on your back burner and freaking come back to it later. Like, you know, when you have a little bit of profit, say, oh, what was that coin I wanted to get into? There's several coins like that for me. Scale was one of them. I looked at it big time back in the day. And then now Andrew Saunders is working with Scale. So, you know, he's very happy with them. So I've been thinking about getting back into Scale. Strictly because Saunders is doing it. The chief is into it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of homo right into. But let's check out Riddler, DeFi Riddlers. He says, bet heavily on this chart. Bitcoin, new all-time high. ETH runs, alts run, starting from the ETH aligned ones. Everything good. DeFi will do well, and I think ENA is set to get back to $1 sooner than you think. So ENA, I'm assuming, is Athena, the new kid on the school bus, which God, I'm gonna have to get into this. GMB, if you know, what up, Holmes? Good to see you in here. GMB or Holmes, have you guys done your homework? Can I copy off your homework, please? Is Athena? What is Athena? I'm gonna have to Google the shit because now it's getting on my radar too much. DeFi Riddler's talking about it. He's generally pretty good. I'm gonna have to really look at this damn Athena. You know, it's the name that's pissing me off because it's like ETH and then Athena. It's like, what are you trying to do to me here? What is really going on? All right, how do I close this out? Close Athena. All right, let me close that. Okay, Athena. So yeah, Liquid Finance, GMB. That's definitely definitely so. And they seem to have pretty good followers. So, I mean, Stuff is following them. That's a pretty big deal. So yeah, let's look at Athena, guys. Just because if you haven't done your homework, I need to do some right now because I've had enough of much about it. I mean, I've heard of it somewhere else. GMB says, okay, it's moving like a freaking stable coin. It's moving like some XRP, trading like XRP a little bit. which when I say that, I just mean it's annoying as shit because it's just down and up and down and up and never anything exciting. You got this huge long period of time here. Well, not too long, 2024. That being said, the lowest you could have gotten was around 27 cents, 22 cents, and you're sitting at 60 cents. So it's not a too late thing to get into. It's ranked number 44, so it's got some room to run. What the hell is it? What is Athena? Athena is a synthetic dollar protocol built on. Okay. This I got to talk about the stablecoin bullshit. We don't need 20 million stablecoins, and the market has not figured that out yet, but it will. Why has the market not figured out that we don't need 50 million different stablecoins? Just like we don't need 50 million different US dollars. We have one freaking US dollar. I mean, there's millions of them, but there's only one US dollar, stable dollar. USDC wins the stablecoin wars. I'm sorry. USDC wins the stablecoin wars. Athena is a synthetic dollar protocol built on Ethereum that provides a crypto native solution for money that is not reliant on traditional. Holy shit. Okay. Timeout. Brain just exploded. Okay. All right. Okay, let me shut up. This is not just a stable coin. This is something bigger than a stable coin. Just because the way they just said that just blew my mind up. Okay, Athena is a synthetic dollar protocol built on Ethereum that provides a crypto native solution for money that is not reliant on traditional banking system infrastructure. Its synthetic dollar, USDE, is known as the internet bond and offers a dollar denominated savings instrument with the benefits of DeFi. Holy shnikes. Okay. I don't understand bonds and shit that well, mostly because they never interested me because they were such shit returns. Like 10-year bond and you get 2%. I mean, I just never cared. From the time I was 17, I found out what a bond was. I was like, who the fuck cares? But worldwide companies and countries buy the shit out of bonds. I mean, billions and trillions of dollars are in bonds, I think. Maybe not trillions, but I mean, a lot of money is in bonds. And if this is the bond for the internet for Web3, this could be a lot bigger than definitely bigger than just a regular stable coin, because it sounds like to me this is crypto native, meaning it's not reliant on traditional banking infrastructure. That line's a little tricky. But again, synthetic dollar, USDE, everyone's got a USDE. Arbitrum's got USDCE and USDC. Those are very confusing, but the internet bond thing is what's catching my attention. This could be freaking big, man. This and the people that are into it, like I said, DeFi Riddlers into it. That's another way you do your research. People that are good and know their shit. If they're looking at something and they're watching it like a hawk, that's a good indication to pay attention. 126% increase from one day ago, signaling a recent rise in market activity. Now, do you want to buy it when it's cranking upward? I don't know. Maybe not, but let's look at the exchanges. Let's look where to buy this thing. I mean, it's a bond, right? Where do we go here? But this one's different, like an internet bond, but this one's different. So it offers yield. That's a good question. I don't know if it offers yield like it's like that. Athena launches SUI. Okay, this is what Lark was talking about, dude. Athena launches SUI, USDE, and USDI on SUI. Care about SUI. Athena Labs will launch SUI, USD, and USDI on SUI network. These assets offer is backed by Delta Hedge SUI and USDI. bro, if this, okay, hold on. If this is, okay, the most popular exchange to buy and trade Athena is Binance with Tether. Okay, that I don't really like, to be honest with you. I would much prefer to see it elsewhere. Where's markets at? What the fuck am I doing? Markets right here. Okay, all right. Okay, so Binance, L Bank, Mexi, KuCoin. These are all blase exchanges, guys. I mean, out of all these, I've used Binance, I think, once. I've used KuCoin, I think, maybe once. Bybit is fairly well known and trusted. I think I may have used Gate before. I don't know. I'm not liking where to get the thing, first of all. I liked a couple things up front. Kraken's on here. Not very much volume. So is this, it says in partnership with Athena. I mean, if this is Sui behind this, I'm not going to be all that bullish about it. I thought this was more an Ethereum thing based on the name, but that's misleading. I'm telling you right now, if this is, it's got the Ethereum address though. So interesting. Go to Twitter. I'm going to follow their freaking page. Again, you know, if you're looking at something, you want to put it on your radar, follow the Twitter page, put the notifications on. That way it comes up in your feed. And you guys should only be following on Twitter. Don't follow. If you're in this to make money, you're on Twitter to make money in crypto. Stop following sports people. Stop following, you know, Taylor Swift. I know you be following Taylor Swift, GMB. Unfollow Taylor Swift. Stop being a Swiftie. I'm just teasing. I know GMB ain't like that. But, you know, use your Twitter account like a screen and a filter. Like everyone that I follow on there, for the most part, I may follow one or two accounts that are not crypto related, but out of 100 accounts, 98 of them are crypto related or money related accounts. Everything on my Twitter feed is going to be about money or crypto. That's why I'm here. So, you know, follow ones that you are. I'm already following Athena, so I was already following it. So, and I don't know how long I've been following it for, but very interesting. Gonna have to do a deep dive. I would love to get Wes's take on this. It would be nice. But this, I mean, introducing Sui for the 30 billion Sui network built for our stablecoin. But if we're gonna go here, man, software as a service, white label. Athena and Sui to launch. Again, you know, if it's just about stable coins, I'm telling you, USDC is going to be hard to beat. USDC is going to be the stable coin of stable coins. You got Circle backing them, and they've been the first mover in the space. I mean, it's going to be very tough to. I think USDC is going to have the United States backing it. I mean, so much so built by Circle. I mean, so much so that I'm not even following it because I just know it's going to be what it is. But I suppose I should if I'm saying it's going to be the winner. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be, in my opinion, this is going to be the stable coin of stable coins. It's going to be hard to beat USDC. I mean, let's see, Athena. I'd like to see a deep dive. The difference between this and DAI. I remember DAI. What the hell happened to DAI? I'm going to read your comment in a second, Holmes, but I remember DAI. What the fuck? DAI was a 2020 coin, man. What the hell was that? God, that's so long. That's so old school, dude. I remember I was bullish as hell on DAI for a long time. Got to shake it off. Let's see. Athena supposedly takes out short positions against its collateralized assets to provide a stable USDE. Takes out short positions against its collateralized assets to provide a stable USDE. That's above my pay grade, bro. My head, when you start getting into that kind of shit, my brain just folds. It's like the algorithmic stable coins. They just, you guys are too smart for me, man. That shit is too, in options. You freaking trading options, you're a freaking, your brain is just bigger than mine. I can't compete with you. If you're trading options, you're just a big brain. Gee, DAI was another stable. It was the first algorithmic stable. Okay, so that's why. And MakerDAO, dude. DAI and MakerDAO were the two OGs in 2020. I remember MakerDAO was like, I was like, wow, look how expensive that is. It's like, that's the coin. When I get rich, I'm going to own that coin. I think MakerDAO comes back, though. And, you know, even back then, I didn't really. What did they change the freaking? Well, they put other word first. I'm not even following it. This is not it. DAO Maker. It was just MakerDAO, wasn't it? This ain't it. Maker. Make the web with AI. It was pretty cool. 3,000 followers. The AI page maker make over web pages in minutes. Pretty interesting. Pretty cool. Only 3,000. Not followed by anyone I'm following. Make web things with AI. That's cool, but you could do all that with Grok too. Oh, the first algorithmic stablecoin, but the first on ETH. Yeah, we're just shooting the shit. Guys, in case you didn't know, Wes got hit, rear-ended by some drunk in his work truck. So I guess that's what's holding him up now from being with us. I'm going to shoot him one more text to see if see how he's doing. So yeah, I want to show you this. I just want to pull this up real quick. Not for any kind of pull up the team chat real quick. You know, I'm just gonna pull this up. Something in my throat. Yeah, that was my long entry. 112, wrote it to 120, closed her out. So yeah, boy, Sierra had a win or two. Finally getting some wins, getting some W's. Realized I am a perma bull. I'm not good at shorting because deep down I don't want the market to go down. I want it to go up. And there's nothing wrong with shorting. You can make money. So yeah, what else you guys got? You guys got anything else? If Wes is not going to be able to get on, that's going to suck, man. But yeah, if Athena's going to be a little suey sucker and not really, that doesn't make sense to me because they are giving it an Ethereum address. I don't know. I don't want to look at it no more. I'm done for right now on Athena. We'll come back to it. Guys, what else is on your radar? Let me know. Some H-bar. This is Google's coin, right? H-bar Hedera. Or is this Hedera hash graph? This is Google shit, right? Hedera's platform. Telecom, FIS, WorldPay, Google, IBM. Yeah. This is predominantly, I think, Google's and I did have a bag of this. Look at these moves. It went from 4 cents up to 30 cents. What a hell of a move, dude. People are making money on this shit. Look at this. 3 cents in 2020. And then in 2021, 30 cents, almost 50 cents. That's pretty crazy. Can it do that move again? Can H bar have another move like that from 22 cents? Let's see. We've traded in this range here, 25 cents. You've had some actions. You've already tired this range out. You've already tired the floor out. 25 cents is tired. Had a decent amount of trading at the 38 cents. Could this thing go to 50 cents from here? Absolutely. It could go to 60 cents on the next move. From this move, you're going to 40. So between 40 and 60 cents is definitely feasible for this coin. Plus the name recognition. You're already somewhat larger market cap. You're number 25. Again, guys, I mean, okay, that one could run. But I'm telling you, man, I think Aptos is going to sneak up on everybody. I want to get a bag before it does. And I know they pissed off Scale because they stole their marketing campaign. I should be loyal to Andrew Saunders, and I am loyal to Andrew. But I need to make some coin too. God, V-Chain still at 2 cents. What a shit coin. Rocket Pool. Oh yeah, Rocket Pool's only, $5,000 coin. Render. Say Chain, man. My little Say Chain that could. Really wish that I didn't have the negative experience with Say Chain I did, because I would still be bullish. Let's go to page number 2. Pengu, guys. Where's Pengu? You guys, my little Pengu. Let me check on Pengu, because I think I opened a long. Where's Pengu? I know it'll come up in my search. I know it will. I'm bullish on Pengu. I like me some Pengu. Let's see where we're at. It was just around the 3 cent mark, which you guys got to remember, that 4 cent mark. A little bit. It's guys, again, I apologize for the lag. That is 100% StreamYard's fault. I'm not going to pull punches on that. Bought Quant, Wormhole, Say, Ping, Moonwell. Moonwell was doing you good for a long time, Holmes. You had a lot of wins on that. Turbo, Toshi, and others on the last dip. Very good. We will look at Sneck. Let me look at my little penguin, the little penguin that could, real quick. Guys, I got the airdrop on Pengu. I think I got the airdrop, right? I missed this pump. Like I missed this somehow. I don't know how the hell I missed the 4 cent thing, but I did. No, because I sold. That's what it is. I sold the day of. So it came out at 2 cents, 0.7. I sold literally right here. As soon as I got the drop, I sold my shit, because I was like, I'm not fighting this shit. I know it's going to crash. Every airdrop crashes. So I'm going to sell. And then it ran up to 4 cents. And I said, damn it. Aggravating shit. It went up to almost 3.5 cents. I said, damn it. Then it went down here. And I said, I'm a genius. And then it went up here. I said, I'm an idiot. And then I didn't buy back in, but then it went down here. And it just kept rolling down. And I said, I'm a genius, because I sold this and it was down here. And I was like, I'm so smart. And then what I did was I said, you know what? It's going to go back up. I'm going to buy again. And I did. I bought in here. And then I rode this wave up to about 2 cents, I think. Somewhere around here. Maybe it was 1.5 cents. But I rode this dip from here down and then up. I sold a little more and then got out again. And then right about here, I should have went crazy more and got back in, but I didn't. So I missed this big run. right? But I've still been a fan of Pudge. I still held a little bit through this run, so I didn't lose. Just one of those ones I've just nailed the timing on. Now you've got this downward, kind of a downward trend. You got where the fuck is my chart thing, dude? No, no. But I'm liking it, dude. I think it's at the end of this little channel here, and very soon I want to go long again on Pengu. Matter of fact, I still hold a good bag. I think I bought some not that long ago. Let's look at the monthly. Yeah, I mean you were up here. It's this 4 cent level is that level I'm waiting on, and you're getting a little bit of an ascending wedge right here, which generals weakness in the price action, which would be good, man. Go back down under 3 cents, man. Go back under. I'll scoop some more, or I'm gonna go long. If she falls below 3 cents again, I'm gonna go long. Probably here, 2.8, 2.8, whatever. If it goes back down here, guys, your boy's I'm gonna go ham on Pengu. This one's gonna be a win. Look at it, it's 80. It's number 80. It's gonna have room to run, guys. For my meme coin, I'm telling you, yeah, I think that's going to be the one. Aptos is going to be the sleeper. Pengu is going to be meme coin. And stuff.io, just one more time, and I'll look up the other one. Let's just look up stuff one more time because I can't stop with this shit. GMB's got me hooked on this joker. I would like stuff to come on the channel, come on the podcast, please. One stuff is the NFTs. You can make books, videos, music, all that stuff. Look at this price action entry, man. Well below a penny. I'm telling you, I'm going to go back into this. Holmes, you should check out stuff on Cardano if you're into Cardano. This thing is incredible. I've used it. They're working on my second music NFT. As a musician, it's very important. They were the only app where I could talk to somebody and they created the music NFT. You traded for the coin. They give you the NFT. I got 100 of them for sale. I have my music on a blockchain. Would it have been Cardano my first choice? Not necessarily, but they are the first choice of apps to create the NFT easily. So I'm going to be using them again. I have enough stuff tokens to buy a whole album. And I will probably buy more, just to be honest and straight up. I will look at SNEC real quick, GMB, if you're still on here. I'll look at it anyway because I promised you I would. Even if you're not here, I'll look at SNEC because I know this is the one that this is your meme. Wow, under a penny. Number 264. This thing's got room to run. This is a low cap for real, for real. Let's look at the max. Not bad price action. Massive move from here. 01, 07. It's a nice. That's a nice run. So perfect. What the hell happened to my view? Change of views. Can StreamYard. Now it says connection is fairly good. If you're on Wi-Fi, try plugging into your router or moving it closer. Why would I do that if it's fairly good? Crazy. Good night, GMB. If you're heading out, if not, SNEC. Yeah, beautiful, perfect. My perfect staircase rule. Elevator. Took the elevator up. That means you got to take the steps down halfway. This is the halfway mark. Look where you are. Bam. You're perfectly at the head. It's following my rule to a T. Perfect. quickly. Beautiful, beautiful price action there. That's a nice move. Yeah, I may scoop a bag of snack as well. Quant wormhole. Let's look at your Moonwell, because you keep dollar cost averaging into that damn Moonwell, Holmes. You keep DCAing into Moonwell. I did not click that. Why is my computer being psycho? It's not what I clicked on. Moonwell, right here. This is the one. This is the one, I believe. Well, has recently migrated from the old contract to a new contract. Is this it, Holmes? If you're still there, let me know. 11 cents down at 2 cents. Where did it start? Started down here at under a penny. So some massive moves on this thing. Holmes, I'm not sure if this is the correct one or not. Not sure, but I really hope that's not a head and shoulders, a gigantic head and shoulders. I can never really read those patterns too well unless I draw the neckline like right across here. Owing money. Not sure if that's even it, guys. Maybe, may not be. But just to recap, everything looks good. Getting a nice correction here, but Bitcoin is refusing to go below 120. It's just slowly creeping up and up and up. Total global, like I said, you may lose this 200 billion. 200 billion may come out of the crypto market over the next couple of days. If it does, Bitcoin could go back down to 117. So that'll be my call. On the low side, will be down at 117 to 118 and fluctuate between there and 120. I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight's show. We will get Wes back, I'm sure, next week. Unfortunately, between working late and now he's got some drunk hit him in the back of the work truck. That is not good. Definitely not good. But we will see you guys next Thursday. Make sure you smash like and subscribe button if you can. Appreciate it.